All right, we got the Blazer in the shop. I'm going to put it up in the air and swap that tie rod out for an aluminum one that he got from Wide Open Design, and then work on getting the brackets welded to the axle for the hydro assist cylinder. Okay, we removed the bracket that was there for the stock steering stabilizer and cleaned all that up and ground it down nice and shiny so we can get ready to weld tabs on there for the hydro assist. Got to get that all mocked up and figure out where exactly the tabs need to be. This one I'm going to try to put it a little higher than I did on mine because I've learned a few things since then. So we'll see how it all works out. This is how I set the toe-in up by myself. It's fairly easy and simple. I find a piece of tubing or something that's the same length and sit it on top of the wheel studs up against the mounting flange on both sides. Like that, and then just run the tape measure across it front and back until I get the toe in where I want it. In this case, it's just a smidgen under 1/4 inch. Might be a bit too much, but it's gonna be a good starting point. Should be a little less, but we'll see how this works. Okay, we got the cylinder mounted up, tabs welded to the axle housing, saddled it left and right. Got all the steering both directions, nothing hits. The cylinder's up pretty high compared to the tie rod. So overall, I think it's pretty good. It's actually better than it is on my truck. Mine's right even with the tie rod and it shows. So I think it's a good start. Got the end cap on the steering box from DIY 4x. It wasn't too bad, but for some reason this steering box didn't have the hole to stick a punch in to get the snap ring out, so I had to fight that a little bit, but it's all in there. Next thing I gotta do to get this going is I need to pull the pitman arm off and pull the top cover off and pull the whole sector shaft out. And then I need to drill and tap that top, and that'll be the other port. We're slowly making progress. The having hydro assist. I pulled the top cover out now, came and put it in the vise so I could drill and tap that hole in the top. It'll go into this side and it'll be on the other side of the piston, so that it'll get fluid that's pressurized on this side. So now I got to put it back in, put the pitman arm back on, run the lines, run the cooler. I need to pull the rear nut out of the back where the high pressure line goes in the pump. I'll have to drill the orifice for more flow. So that's where we're at, and we're getting closer. All right, we extended the reservoir with a piece of marine grade fuel line. That's what I've used in the past. I've never had an issue with it. Just gives you a little bit more volume, nothing crazy. And then I have this all buttoned up, and the one line kind of ran where it needs to go. I'll have to tie it up and figure out where it needs to be for sure after I get it back up in the air. So we're making some progress. All right, now we got the cooler mounted. I like using these Adel clamps. Instead of going through the radiator, I absolutely hate those zip tie things they send you. So this actually had existing holes already there that I put those clamps through in the sheet metal screws. So that's all mounted, not up against nothing. I just got to splice the hose in to the return line and we'll be all set. All right, the next thing we're going to do, this is the pressure relief valve in the pump. There's a washer underneath that nut. You can take that washer out, it'll increase the pressure before the pump blows off. So it gives a little bit more pressure. Another thing we're going to do is drill out the orifice out of this, which is the nut that goes in the back and your line hooks to. The center hole, you find out what size that hole is and just enlarge it the next size, drill a bit bigger, and it generally will improve it quite a bit. Well, I know it's been a while since I've done much updating. Had a few things going on. Had to go to Kentucky for a funeral with my girlfriend. I was up there for a while. And last weekend we did go to the tractor pull. Do have one short little clip that my son took. That's all I really got done getting any kind of video of anything that went on with that. But that same day, my girlfriend started feeling like crap. She was kind of sick all day Sunday. I did come out here to the shop, and I worked on the Blazer a little bit, but I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't get like any video or anything. But I got the sliders put on that he had already made. My buddy already made these. They need to be welded to the frame. I have them on the frame, welded up, but I'm not a huge fan of how they are because I think they're going to bend up. So what I think I'm going to do is the rockers are cut off on this because they were rusty. I think I'm going to get some 2-inch square tubing to butt up to the bottom of the rocker, right up in here after this is all trimmed out of the way. And put that against there, and then against this to keep these from bending up and pushing. On my truck, I still have the factory rockers on it still. And I have a piece of angle iron that's bolted to the pinch seam and then welded to my sliders, keep them from flexing and bending. I think I'm just gonna do to these. I also started to build a new transmission cross member slash belly pan out of scrap. So that's why you see these random pieces like this. This is some stuff that's already around. Yeah, I'm gonna trim that off and everything, make it look better, but I started making this. Obviously I'm not done. I would have had more of this done, but I said out here Sunday I worked all day, didn't really do any video, but I came out, did all that, but then come around Monday, I started feeling like crap. And I got all sick and everything else, so I've actually been home the last couple days from work and I haven't done nothing. I felt like crap. So I do need to get back out here. Hopefully maybe tomorrow or the next day, I don't know. And try to get that cross member finished up and get the tubing to finish some sliders. After that, we're going to be on to maybe doing a little extra trim work and start dealing with drivability issues and make sure this thing drives good down the road. That's kind of where we're at with this and where I've been. Been kind of crazy. I am going to here in a few minutes. I need to drain my hot water heater and my water lines out of my camper because it's supposed to get into the 20s here coming up this weekend, and I don't want any of my lines to freeze up in my camper, so I just need to go ahead and get that over with. I'm going to do that now, I think. So just hang on, we're going to get to that. The outside of the hot water heater on the camper, right there's the plug. You can go to drain the tank in the hot water heater. Usually there's an anoid on the end of it. I haven't pulled it, so I don't know yet, but we're gonna find out. But the anoid is to help corrosion, so it corrodes that and not the actual tank. So let's go ahead and pull this out and see what happens. Oh boy. Drain that sucker out. All right, on this camper, right there is a valve you open up. And that's a low water valve. It's the lowest spot in all the water. So I can drain the whole system out, so there'll be new water in the system. So I don't have to worry about it freezing up. All right, all drained out. I'm gonna leave the drain plug slash anoid rod right there. Close this up. And that's gonna slowly drip out the bottom, that low water drain. So we should be all good. So got that done. Now I guess I I need to just basically try to feel better and get back to work on the Blazer and get that going. So that's kind of where I've been, and there's all my little updates. Right now the weather's pretty crappy and I feel the same. So until next time, I hope I get some good stuff going and have some decent video. See y'all later.